comfortable. We have to get uncomfortable. And that's what this conversation is. This series is about lived experience. Today, you will hear from these extraordinary women from all walks of life, all backgrounds. They're from different industries, life path. But what connects us is our willingness to speak our voice and share our story honestly, authentically, and we are awakened. So we want to make sure you are awakened. So I invite you to listen with curiosity. I invite you to listen with compassion. I invite you to be present, reflect. And my hope for this entire conversation, this evening, this afternoon, this morning, is that it doesn't just stay in your mind, but it drops 18 inches down to your soul, to your heart, from your head to your heart, and inspire you to action. So, without further ado, I'm going to bring these amazing women up because I know you're tired of hearing me, So, let's just get this conversation going. I'll bring them up and we can start the show. Let's see here. Make sure I don't mess this up, you guys. Make sure I don't mess this up. Okay, here we go. Hello, Sarah. Hello,
Hi.
Liz. Hi, Justine.
Hi.
We have another Sarah, and we have Peace Mitchell, which is the one of the leaders of Women Changing the World. You see, she's gracing us with her experience, with her here today. So I'm so happy to have you as well, Peace. Tiffany,
So glad to be
Bethany,
here.
who else is here? I think I got everybody
Hi,
in.
ladies.
Oh, please let me know if I got everybody in. Hello, everyone. So tonight's conversation will focus, as we mentioned, on the awakening movement and the time we want to make sure each and every single author is going to answer a prompt. We're going to make it fun. We're making it fun, you guys. So they're going to answer a prompt, and every author is, as we answer the prompt that they answer, is going to be option A, B, or C. So before they do that, they're going to introduce themselves, let you know who they are, what they're all about. Here are the three prompts: A, B, or C. But before they get to that, they're going to introduce themselves, let you know who they are, and what makes them so amazing in their expertise. So, ladies, we can round robin it, or you can just pop in so we can get everybody going. Who wants to go first?
Shall I start, Dale?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Peace.
So I'm Peace Mitchell. I'm co-founder of Women Changing the World Press, which is where we published this book. I'm also co-founder of Women Changing the World Awards and Summit, which is the community that brought all of these incredible women together. So when I think about fear, I think about the fact that I didn't talk about the fear I had around about not wanting to ever make a mistake. And I know that that has held me back in so many ways, and in business and in life. But having to be fearless and to go for your goals makes all the difference. And that's what has helped us to build an incredible global community of 150,000 women from 97 countries.
That's a lot, Peace. Thank you. Who wants to go next? Liz, you want to jump in? Unmute yourself and jump in, Liz.
From Sydney in Australia. So good afternoon, morning, or evening. I'm a mother of three, and I have had a bit of a Walter Mitty life. I became an international film director. It was not what I thought I was going to do with my life. And I had a changing moment where I was given an opportunity to go to Antarctica in 2010. And I spent 3.5 weeks with 40 teenagers. It was the United Nations Year of Youth. And that was probably my tipping point in my life, where I saw the world very differently. And I realized that I really wanted to commit myself to supporting the next generation and making sure that we could do whatever it would take to have impact within our community or within our work or within policy or government. And I think my moment of change actually came a little bit later when I realized I was making a very big series on climate change, and I was on a dog sled heading across the North Pole or the Arctic, and I heard this little voice inside of me say hello. And I was like, hello, who are you? And this person said, well, I'm your adventurous self, and I have been waiting to know you for such a long time. And I realized that I had always defined myself by being a corporate person, and how everybody else had seen me had actually really defined who I thought I was. But it wasn't until all that got stripped away and I was thousands of miles away in a pristine place, and I realized I found myself for the first time. And then that sort of helped me realize a little bit more about who I was and find the courage to speak up and to share my story. So I just wanted to say, firstly, thank you to Peace Mitchell, who has really been a guiding light in all of this, and also to everybody who's here today, and to Dale for bringing this together. I know it's going to be an amazing conversation, so let me pass the baton.
I love it. Who's jumping in? Sarah, Justine, who's jumping in? I'm going to, Justine, you can go ahead.
Hi,
Go ahead.
everybody.
Yeah.
Well, hi, I am Justine Cox. I'm from Australia. I'm a mum of one busy 9-year-old, and I'm a connected leadership expert. So I work with organisations and leaders to create connected organisations, because humans are an organisation's biggest asset, and we know that people thrive when they feel connected to other people. So I do that through coaching, training and speaking. And I really support leaders to build connected teams, to reconnect to themselves, to strengthen trust and lead with strength and kindness. I'm really passionate about changing how we think about leadership, because when leaders lead well, people thrive. And we know we spend a lot of time at work, and we bring our whole selves to work. So that's my contribution to the world, to create the kind of workplaces where people feel like they can belong and really maximise their potential. And I'm grateful for all the women that have been on this journey with me. Grateful to be here today.
I love that. Oh, that's so good. I love what Liz said, that it just all speaks. You realize that we're getting a theme here. Something you want to help, you want to give back, and you want to pour in to each and every single part of your journey, and the ones that are coming behind you and the ones that are coming to the side of you, and all the things. So, all right, who's next? Sarah Knight, you want to go next? Pop in here.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Sarah Knight. I'm an award-winning photographer in Western Sydney, and I'm also a prominent DV advocate as well. So I guess the moment I realized I had to change is when I understood that surviving wasn't the same as living. I spent years living in fear, basically my entire life, and I was just getting through each day, surviving and just keep going. I think it was about 8-9 years ago that all that fear caught up with me, and I realized I couldn't keep living like this. So I decided to look at changing my life and changing my life for all my kids. So one day I looked at my children and realized I didn't want them to see a mother who survived, a mother who was fearful, and I want them to show them that you can move past your fear and that you can build a really, really good life. And being part of this community and being with all you ladies and hearing your own stories as well as helped me realize that I'm on the right path. I'm with the most amazing people I have ever met, and thank you, Peace, for bringing us all together as well. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much my answer to the question. And, yeah.
Okay. Thank you. I have so much follow-up questions that came to my mind. So let's finish everybody around, and then we're going to come back around. So Sarah McCray, you want to go next? Yeah. Let me unmute you. Okay, good.
Hi, I'm Sarah McRae, and I'm also a mum of two beautiful girls. But I'm a director of a disability company, or it's a community now, and for 4 years nearly, and yeah, I've built some pretty good programs, and it's now become an advocate for my daughter. So, but before, what made me write this chapter was basically I was silently carrying a lot of stuff for a long, long time, and
Mm,
it was like my turn to be able to just not get it out, but yeah, put it out to the world, I suppose, and get uncomfortable for the first time and face fears and everything. Becoming a mum at 18, and I was a bit of a ratbag teenager, not very good at school, so I, worked hard and lots of jobs, and from cleaning up to now I'm a director of my own company with 60 participants and 40
yeah.
staff. And sometimes I go, wow, I'm stressing out because I've got all this, like,
Yeah.
like crazy. But yeah, so I'm really grateful, and it's made me grow so much being a part of this like community and peace and all you ladies. So, and it's quite, sometimes it's a bit surreal, like getting
Yeah.
up this early and going, I'm jumping on a podcast.
Yeah, you're here. You're here. So thank you for being here.
Oh, isn't it? Yeah.
That's wonderful, and it's ringing the theme. I'm getting themes. I'm getting themes, you guys, as you guys talk. Tiffany, I'm welcoming you to this conversation.
Hello, ladies. I'm so excited to be here. I am Tiffany James, and I am the founder of Encouraging Touch Enterprise and just the voice behind the movement You Belong in the Room. And underneath that, I do storytelling for over 20 years now. I coach. I love just encouraging women and supporting women. And it's just such an honor to be here. I think the moment that I knew that something needed to change is when I thought I had accomplished all my dreams, was making over six figures, had the houses and the cars, but I was so empty. And I realized I
Right.
wasn't living in purpose. And I realized that life was passing me by. I wasn't there for my kids. I'm a mother of three beautiful adult girls now, women. And I just realized life was passing me by. I didn't know anything that was going on in my children's life because I was so busy trying to succeed. And so I knew something needed to change. And I'm so grateful that, life interrupted, right? Things interrupted my life and I was able to pursue my purpose. Yeah.
Man.
And it's an honor to be here. Thank you, Dale.
Absolutely. So I'm on mic in all of us. So let's, since we got a preliminary and we did a good, really good job with about 15, 17 minutes. And I want to hear from, give me maybe a few of you, anybody that wants to jump out and say, what is your one quote that you kept on referring to, or phrase or Bible verse that you kept on referring to as you were starting your awakening and figuring out that, you know what, I need to get my voice out there and it was time for that change? What's that one quote or song? I don't know.
I'll
For
go.
me,
Oh, go ahead.
sorry, Tiffany. For
No, go
me,
ahead.
the quote that comes back to me is, a life lived in fear is a life half lived. And I didn't want a life half lived. I want to live my life to the full. I want to follow all of my dreams and create magic and explore the world and bring women together all over the world and celebrate women. And so that quote is something that comes back to me again and again. It's something my sister says, a life lived in fear is a life half lived. We've got to live our lives to the full. And the only person who can do that for us is ourselves. It's up to us to live fearlessly. So that would be
Oh,
my.
yes. Yes. Someone just put, they, like, what about me? Oh, I am going to just smooth right in with what Peace said. But my prompt that I would pick is, the fear I didn't talk about then was the fear of, and I think I talk about this, Peace, when you had talked to me and interviewed me. I said this, and it was my fear of being seen. And that was the fear I didn't talk about then, that I am happily ready and overjoyed to talk about now. And interestingly, that is the title of my chapter, Significantly Seen. And when I say that, I had folks kind of ask me, what do you mean by that? And my what I mean by that is, and I think there's a African verb, that word that's sawabona, and I'm sure some of you guys have heard of it. So that means I see you, not only you that's in front of me, I see you, who you were before, who you gonna ever become. I see your ancestors, I see your life, your kids, your future, your past, your present. I see everything when I see you, and that's what it means to me to see myself in order to see every single facet of all that I am. So I think that's what I'm gonna go with.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And the answer to that is, I am here to be seen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we're here to show up and be seen. And I love that you have done that, Dale,
Yeah.
through your chapter, through your podcast, through all the work that you do.
Thank
It's really
you.
beautiful.
Oh, this is so good. So who else want to jump in and share their quote, or maybe your song, a song that you kept on having to dance through to kind of remind you to keep going? Who wants to jump in? I think, Liz, you're talking. Let me make sure that you're not muted. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you for all your comments. I was just going to jump in and say something that I found I needed to work on a lot was to mind my mind. And in that saying, it's like, make sure that when you think, you don't think about what, but you think about when. And you don't think about maybe, you think about I can and I will. And I remember when I was told that I would never raise $3 million to do a big series in Australia. And I thought, actually, that gave me the rocket fuel to be determined to do it. So sometimes also when people say, you're never going to be able to do that, turn it around and make it your rocket fuel, to make it fuel you to do it and to rise up. Because the obstacles really are only obstacles that you find in your mind. And if you start to think through the obstacles and help other people see that things are possible, then we can all help the world move through things that are sometimes seen to be difficult to do. Sometimes it's just the way you think about it. So I always think about mind your mind, because your mind can really limit you. Let it free.
100%. 100%. I'm so, oh my goodness. That is a whole book in and of itself. So I agree with you 1,000%, Liz. Anybody else want to jump in or comment on that or share their quote? Wait, oh, Justine, you want to? Okay, yeah.
Yeah. For me, it was, and it's similar to Liz. For me, I started to tell myself, you are capable more than you know right now. Because I think my turning point came in after a particularly aggressive conversation with my now ex-husband, and I remember thinking, I don't know if I want to be here anymore. And that was I'd never felt like that ever in my life. And I just needed to pick myself up and say, you know what, you are capable, you can do this. And it's one small step. And I didn't have to have all the answers, and I didn't have to know where it was going to end up. I just needed to know I was capable of more and take one baby step.
Yeah. One step at a time. Justin, I have a question for you. When you were going through and you said you had that difficult conversation, in that moment, did you wanted to walk away or do not do it or continue on the path that you were on? Like, did you ever think like, maybe I'm crazy?
Yeah, 100%. You get in your own head. I think women, traditionally, we get in our own head. We take a lot of responsibility for things. We feel like we have to fix everything and have all the answers all of the time. And sometimes we've just got to take the pressure off ourselves, you know. One thing I did learn, I was never very good at of leaning on my friends and my support network. And it was after that I realized, okay, I need to lean on some people here. I don't need to be on my own.
Yeah. And then you're getting out of that superwoman, or where you have to do it all and think it all and do all the things, right? Be all the things to all the people except for yourself. So I love that.
100%. You know, I say to my leaders, you've got to fit your own face mask first. There's a reason they tell you that in the plane, right? But for women, so often we do not do that. We're always worried about running around and making sure everybody's okay, and our kids and our staff and our partners. And you cannot underestimate, particularly as I've got older, the value of self-care.
Oh, yes. Ring. Mic drop, Justine. Mic drop. Who else want to jump in on this conversation? Tiffany, you're up,
Yeah.
Tiffany.
Yes, I have a scripture and a quote, but my scripture, when I was
Bring it.
really empty, I just was really standing in my office, and I just heard just this still small voice, and I knew it was the Lord. And he said, "No eye has seen, no ear has heard, no mind has conceived all that I have in store for you. But your spirit bears witness." And I knew it. I knew, my spirit knew that it was more than just making money, that it was just more than just trying to be successful. And so that was the scripture that grounded me, that I kept saying, there's more. My eyes haven't seen it, my ears have not heard it yet, but my mind hasn't even conceived it. But if I have faith, then I know I'll be able to accomplish it. And then my favorite quote is actually my quote, and it is, "You can't reach your destiny if you don't know your identity." And I believe that's my favorite
Come
quote. It's my quote.
on.
Because when you know who you are, you know what you can accomplish, and then you're not looking for your self-worth in the things that you do. So, and that has
Tiffany,
carried me.
you can't leave us on that. You can't leave us on that. If anybody wants to pop in and comment on that, let me know. But wow. Tiffany, I love that.
Yeah.
You can't know
You,
what? Say it again. Say it again.
you can't reach your destiny without first knowing your identity.
Mhm.
Because when you know who you are, then you know what you can accomplish. Because if not, you will get to those spaces that you've been working so hard to reach, those goals, those milestones, all those successes, everything. But if you don't know who you are, then those things begin to define you. And the moment those things are no longer, then who are you?
Mm.
If you lose everything, and I lost everything, and I had to figure out who I was without all of those titles, without the money, without the cars, without the successful marriage, who was I?
Who are
So,
you?
yeah,
Not
who are
what you do, right? Because
is
sometimes
who
we're
you
like, when
are.
somebody asks, is people, what do you, so what do you do? Who are you? Who are you
Who
without
are
all
you?
of those extra things?
Yeah, and I'm finding our worth in that.
Mm-mm. Mm-hmm. 100%. Did somebody else say something? I think somebody else said something. Sarah, you want to jump in here? Sarah Knight or Sarah Gray?
Look, like there's not much more I can add. Like, you ladies have perfectly said it. As women, we are afraid to be who we are actually meant to be. We're raised on this construct that we're supposed to be just a mum, or we're supposed to just do this. And it is about finding who we truly are. Like, when I went through that and finding who I truly was, I also had to remove my neurodivergent masking as well. So combating that fear itself is your biggest step in finding who you are. The fear of finding out who you are. I think that's all I can add to the conversation, because you got ladies have said it so well.
Yeah, 100%. Thank you. Thank you. Sarah McCree, did you want to jump in here?
It's
Want
a
to make
bit hard
sure.
to,
Yeah.
it's a bit hard to come back. Yeah, that's very perfectly said and round up. But I think too that you are enough. That's a big one to hit in life, and go back yourself and get up and say, no, I am enough, and I have enough, and I've got enough to do this, and I don't need to be kept pushed down in that hide from the world and yourself. The minute you kind of go, well, you know what, like that was a big thing, people pleasing for me and making sure everyone else was happy, but I didn't realise that I was so unhappy.
I'm a recovering people pleaser, right here.
People pleasing, and I had
A
no
recovering
boundaries,
people
and
pleaser for sure.
till there was nothing left, and that's when the Phoenix got brought into vision, and it was like, well, now these things are made not from the rise, it's from the ashes, like you burnt, you're down to nothing, stripped. And yeah, and then you get up and have that fire in your belly, and I am the world, and it is like, let's go. And you dust yourself off, and then it gets easier and easier every knockdown. You just,
I'm gonna say to what you just said, Sarah, would you say that you said as you go it gets easier and easier, but what if, does that mean that it gets easier but it doesn't stop it from it doesn't stop other hurdles from coming your way, right?
Yeah, that's right. I think when the minute I realised that it is hard and things can get hard and it can get uncomfortable, but that's just the journey, and we can't have, we've got our moments and we've got our good times, and we hold on to that, and you just got to keep pushing through. You can't be deterred back. It's for a lesson, or there's a reason. I'm a big believer in that now.
Yeah.
Good or bad, there's something out of it. You've learnt something, or it's put a patch on you that makes you that person. That we've got a big thing about the Phoenix, born to lead, and and that's what creates you. It makes you that person as we go on. It's like being taught. You learn something every day, and if you don't, I always remember getting told that as a kid. You don't learn. What did you do at school today? Nothing. We just learned nothing. And it sticks in me all the time. You learn something every day. So, and that's life and our journey. I don't think we're never given all the answers, and just being enough and true and to yourself and what you do, you've got it all in the mix.
100%. I find that in my experience that as the hurdles come, especially when I was writing this book, and I was like, oh my goodness, I have stuff, I had a little piece of information here and stuff there, and I was like, I gotta look at all of this and consolidate this. and I'm so glad, because I know the piece and the team, you guys had writing sessions, and I was like, without it, I don't even know, because you're like, what do you want to write? You gave the space, because sometimes you are paying attention we are paying attention so much to what's our surroundings, that if we just get quiet. And that's what, when I was writing this book, initially one of the hurdles for me was, sometimes finding the time to sit down and breathe and write, and then bring all of that I wanted to do together. And that's what it was. That was part of that really helped me to kind of keep going. And then this experience has changed how I identify myself, going back to Tiffany's point, right? That who you are becoming in the process is so much more important than the success that, of all the glamour and, all the things that happens externally. Any thoughts there?
I was just going to jump in and say,
Please. Yeah.
We are also talking about our life and the journeys that we have. And I think sometimes another element of that is that we think that the people that are around us should always be with us. But when we're on this journey, it's like we're on a train, right? And we stop at different stations, different people get off, different people get on. You unpack your suitcase, you repack your suitcase. It's an ebb and flow. And, as part of learning to be fearless and to find your voice, it doesn't always mean that the same people will always be in that inner circle. And I just wanted to say, everybody has a journey, and sometimes they're with you for part of the journey, but not the whole journey. And so that there's no judgment on that. It's just a deeper understanding of Thank you so much for being on this part of the journey with me, and be excited to know who's getting on at the next stop that your journey is on, and to feel at peace with that.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you for that, Liz. Thank you for saying that. Anybody want to add to that? Because we're getting ready to wrap up here.
I did just want to add to that. This whole journey has been so beautiful to be a part of. You know, Sarah Knight, who was speaking before, I've seen a growth in her from when she first applied to be part of this and write her chapter, to speaking now confidently on stage, on screen with us. That's a huge growth that's happened. But it's because we're all together and we've all supported each other on this journey. Dale, you're showing up to be seen. Justine is asking people for help. We're all learning and growing in this journey. And yeah, it's been beautiful being a part of this and getting to know all of you through this whole process as well, and hearing everyone's stories. I've really enjoyed it. Congratulations, everyone.
Yeah. Thank you, Peace. This is why you brought us together, Women Changing the World. I'm telling you, this is why. Thank you so much, Peace. And before we wrap things up, I want to acknowledge each and every single one of you, again, giving you, each and every single one of you, your flowers for having this conversation with me. Your stories, our stories, it reminds us that again and again, I say this to my clients, you can get tired, you can rest here for a short time, but you gotta get back up out there and dust yourself off, and you gotta give yourself time to breathe, give yourself to cry, go punch a bag if you need to punch it, and get mad, whatever it is that you need to do to let that out. But you need to get back in the ring and start fighting, right? Because one thing we're not going to do is to give up. Our stories remind me that awakening moments rarely arrive as grand gestures or grand announcements. Often I find, and based on each and every single one that you have said, that it comes quietly. It comes through a discomfort, through a loss, to Liz's point, or a deep sense that something needs to change and there's more for you to do, right? And often that happens when we ourselves we have decided it's time to get out of that uncomfortable and make us get out of the comfortable and get uncomfortable. And often that happens and we have to move with it. And these moments, as uncomfortable as it may be, we have to feel our way through it. And often it's the beginning of courage. And then your friends and your family and your kids and all of your loved ones see that change. To Peace's point, seeing the person when they began the journey and looking at them now, chef's kiss, right? It's really amazing. So this was episode 1, everyone, the awakening, and what kind of disrupted each and every single one of the authors and what made them decide to venture out and do that chapter that we contributed in this book, Women Living Fearlessly. Next week is going to be part 2, March 13th at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And translate that to the time that you are, wherever you are. So episode 2, we're going to be talking about living fearlessly, choosing courage in real time. Choosing courage in real time. And that starts with each and every single one of us. So the question is, before we kind of get out of here, Peace, I want to welcome you to kind of share about Women Changing the World, any updates, what's going on, and welcome to make sure everybody knows this is the organization that brought us together. So if they can do this, and this is, how many women did you say, Peace? Remind us.
150,000 women from 97 different countries in this community now. So it's growing all the time. We had 55 countries represented last year and 97 this year. So we are growing at a very fast rate as well. And I love that we are reaching women literally all over the world in this community. And it's all about women who are changing the world. So women who are very heart-led, purpose-led, ambitious, visionary women, women who dream big, who live fearlessly. So anybody who's watching, if you are one of those women, join us, be part of what we're doing. You can connect with us on social media. At the Women Changing the World on Instagram, Facebook. We're at LinkedIn as well. We also have our major event for the year coming up in Paris on the 22nd of April. The Women Changing the World Summit and awards presentations are happening. We have just announced our finalists for the Women Changing the World Awards just in time for International Women's Day. So we're celebrating incredible women from all over the world this weekend who are the finalists, doing absolutely amazing work all over the world. So yeah, it's super exciting, and congratulations to all of the women who have made it through as finalists as well. You are doing absolutely incredible work. But if anyone wants to find out more, if you want to come along to join us in Paris on the 22nd of April, just head over to the website. It's wcwawards.com. And all of the info's there. You can read about the finalists as well and grab your tickets to come and join us in Paris. Thank you, Dale.
Absolutely. See, that's the website, wcwawards.com.
That's it.
Visit the website. That's it. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. I wanted to, I don't know, before we jump out of here, thank you to each and every single one, but I did see a comment that came in here last. I wanted to know if anybody wanted to mention or speak to this person directly and just reply to this comment that came in from our wonderful participants that's listening to us. Thank you for being here.
She's also one of our finalists. Congratulations.
Yes. Hello. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you for joining us. Oh my gosh. She said, I truly resonate. I grew up struggling with self-esteem and personal confidence. Oh, please. Right here. And it got worse after getting myself involved in a narcissistic relationship where I tolerated so much emotional abuse. Listening to that inner, that's right. That's right. She wrote here, listening to her inner voice. Mm-hmm. And that's what it comes down to. Listening to your inner voice.
Yeah. It says that was telling me there's no way I can find something better and probably I deserve this treatment. You did not deserve that. Oh my gosh. Until one day I wake up with so much hunger to find my true self. Even though I was now 20, I had to find myself from scratch. And that has been the greatest thing that has ever happened to me. The rest is now history. Knowing the true you is such a blessing. What a beautiful story. Yeah, and again, that theme of building yourself from scratch. I know that Tiffany spoke about that and Justine spoke about that as well. And Sarah, hitting rock bottom and having to rebuild from that place does take a lot of courage. It does. It really does.
And it's the fact that you are able to look back, right? And look at the person that you look at, that little girl, that little boy, look at who you were and looking back at that person and then loving them and knowing that you did the best that you could in that situation, right? But when you finally are able to see yourself, oh, when you're finally able to see yourself and know your value and what you bring to the table, you will take you will take it all the stages, all your voice. When somebody tries to shut you down, you are going to make sure that person knows, no, that's the old me, no longer that person. No longer that person, and you are standing tall. So I'm so glad, I'm so happy. Thank you for sharing that. I love that. Love it. See, but we gotta go, you guys. So again, thank you to each and every single one. Thank you for for all the authors that decided to pop in here and share their story, who share a little bit of their journeys, just a little bit, because this is not even everything that they went. This is just a little glimpse, so you can get a glimpse of what they went through as they decided to start their process, their journey. And until next time, which is next week, same time, same place, March 13, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Convert that into the time wherever you are. keep growing, keep listening to that inner voice, and keep living fearlessly, because we are destined to be significantly seen. And I thank each and every single one of you for this conversation. And we'll see you guys next week. Thank you.
you, Dale.
Bye, everyone. Let
Bye.
everybody make sure all of you guys are on mic to kind of let everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dale.
Thank you, Liz. Thank you, Sarah, Justin. Thank you all. Thank you, Peace. Thank you guys for staying on until the very end.